A very warm welcome to Newsfeed on this 24th day of June 2022, a day that has seen the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance flag bearer Raila Odinga set to meet with Mitumba traders later on in the day. One of the many stories we've lined up for your Newsfeed this afternoon. Now with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now on to our top story this afternoon. 5 people have died after a building under construction collapsed in Kitengela area, Kajiado County. The 3-story building is near Kitengela Heights around the EPZ company. Other construction workers who had assembled at the site managed to escape.
Juu hizi chuma, hii mchanga, sioni kama inafaa kufanya kazi kabisa. Y8 inajenga ghorofa, haifai. Siwafahamu, lakini shakuja kuulizia kazi hapa siku kadha, siwafahamu.
Hawajakorokea vizuri, hata maji hawapei maji, na hiyo si kitu mzuri kabisa. Na hata mchanga ni ile ya huku kuokota huko kwa nini? Kwa barabara hiyo mchanga. Na hata hiyo hakuna kakoto nje wako koroga.
Ningependa mwenye anasimamia hii nyumba, huyo ndiye ako na makosa. Kwa sababu unaona engineer na contractor ameunda kitu, ona chuma inakaa ndogo, waya hii mesh. Kama maoni yangu hiyo ni mbaya sana.
Mwingine? Wewe kuna maoni?
Mimi niko hapa kusema kama ingewezekana hawangeanzia hapa, sababu tukienda mlango ya nyuma wanaonekana wenye wamesipwa na hiyo nini ukuta. Sawa. Sasa ile tungesema trisi wangekuwa na watu wengi hapa hivyo, ama tinga 2 ama 3 sisaidie hapa, tusaidiane. Kama wanasema kuna wengine wako ndani, ni sawa. Tusaidie wenye wako uwai na wenye wameenda, ni sawa. Tusaidiane. Ni ghorofa ilikuwa na shule ilikuwa inajengwa, lakini bado tunaona pia bado haijaisha, na tuko tu tunashukuru.
Hapa baba.
Naitwa Kariuki, mimi ni mkaaji hapa Kitengela. Lakini kulingana na vile naona hapa, hii maafa haigetokea kama wenye walipitisha wanakujanga kuangalia zile vitu zinatumika, materials zenye zinatumika. Sasa ukiona zile chuma zinatolewa hapa, ni za kujenga, hata si choo, hata si nyumba ya mnyama.
Such a gruesome turn of events in Kajiado County. May the souls of the bereaved rest in eternal peace. Meanwhile, members of the Azimio One Kenya Council meeting are currently meeting at the KICC here in Nairobi. President Uhuru Kenyatta convened the meeting with top on the agenda being review of coalition's campaign strategies. Our reporter Apollo Kamau is at the KICC and now joins us live. Good afternoon, Apollo. What is the latest from KICC?
Well, Dennis, good afternoon. As we speak, any time from now, we do expect the leaders to come out and speak to us. As you can see behind me, the podium is already set. The meeting is being chaired by Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga, and the running mate Martha Karua is also there. We also have Kalonzo Musyoka, who is the Wiper Party leader, and the larger Azimio Council. The agenda of the meeting this afternoon is all about the zoning issue, persuading candidates, especially the weak candidates in the coalition strongholds, to step down for the strong candidates. And the move is being informed by the need to shore up numbers for the coalition, given the August 9 election campaigns are now on the home stretch, and the IEBC numbers are also out. So it's a do or die. Remember, this is the second meeting after they had the first meeting a few weeks here. The first meeting, as you remember, Dennis, it was all about appointing an advisory panel which was constituted of, or was made up of, eminent persons to search for a running mate. That was done. It was the first agenda. Today's agenda is all about this campaign strategy. How do they get the numbers? How do they control the Senate, the National Assembly, the county assemblies, and also the Council of Governors? So they have to agree, and we are hoping when they come out, they will explain the areas where they have decided some candidates or the perceived weak candidates will step down in favor of the strong ones, not to lose out to Kenya Kwanza, given this is a do or die battle. So we are still pitching tent here, waiting for them to come out and tell us the way forward. Will there be a consensus, white smoke on this issue? Remember, it was one of the stormy issues a while back before Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua quit the coalition. The small parties in the larger Azimio group were protesting the issue of zoning in favor of saying it favors Wiper, ODM, and Jubilee. It has been quite a storm, and therefore we are waiting to see whether this time it will work, whether there will be consensus, especially when the issue is cascaded down there. So it's a matter of wait and see, Dennis.
Thank you much, Apollo Kamau, for that comprehensive update. Of course, Apollo Kamau will be following up with the story, and he will be informing us further in our subsequent bulletins. Now, moving on, the Anglican Church of Kenya, ACK, has criticized the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, over its plan not to use the manual voter register, arguing that this could lock majority of Kenyans out. According to Ole Sapit, this may jeopardize the election process. Chichi Josephine reports.
So we want to commit each one of them to you.
Speaking at Kiamunyeki ACK parish within Bahati sub-county, the Archbishop has further asked IEBC to make public a list of polling stations that do not have a network and explain how it will identify which tablet Form 34A will be coming from, given that these polling stations lack coverage.
That they want to abolish the manual register. In our view, we need to keep both. Because even in the most advanced technology, we always have what is called backup. And everybody need a backup. So that if one system fails, there is where you can turn back to. We also talk about verification. We need verifiable results and activity around elections. And therefore what we want to urge IEBC is to assure Kenyans that they are not going to destroy the physical manual registers. It will be kept, but what is going to be used is electronic. But should there be a failure of any form, or anybody who needs some verification, it will still be available for verification.
The Commission announced that close to 1,111 polling stations are out of 3G and 4G coverage, and they will use satellite modems to transmit presidential results from these stations.
Even when you do research, you don't go to one source. Let us keep the manual register as an alternative source we can always turn to if there is any hardship or any turmoil in the country, should there be any complaint in an election, so that we are transparent and we are forthright in what we are doing.
Archbishop Sapit affirmed that voting is a right for all Kenyans and that IEBC was obligated to facilitate and not to put potential obstacles to the citizens' right to vote.
And we want to urge Kenyans that let us not tribalize our election or regionalize it. Let us vote for parties and individuals whom we trust, irrespective of where they come from. They will give us what Kenyans require.
Azimio Coalition has already written to IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati, raising the same issues, saying if the system fails, many Kenyans might not vote. Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Well, thank you, Chichi Josephine, for that report. Now, the Cabinet Secretary for Transport and Infrastructure, James Macharia, is currently inspecting government projects in Mombasa City County ahead of commissioning by the President next month. The projects include the Dogo Kundu Phase 2 project, the Changamwe Interface, and the Makupa Bridge. Once complete, they will boost the coastal region economy.
That is a major link which will help not just the people of that area, but in terms of bringing development. Many Kenyans, you recall, that a few years ago the President did mention that we are going to do a special economic zone at Dogo Kundu, where we shall employ 200,000 youth. Now, without this road from Mwache to Mteza, that special economic zone will not be possible. And so we are very keen to make sure that project is completed as quickly as possible. We've done the inspection. It is now 56% complete. One of the key bridges, the Moache Bridge, is now 90% complete. And so, people across the bridge, they used to take 5 hours to walk to Miritini. Now with the bridge getting finished, they can just cross 5 minutes and then go to Miritini. So it will make their life a lot easier, a lot better. And then the economic development of that area will be uplifted. And so we are happy with the progress of that project, which is done in collaboration with Japanese government through JICA and Japanese company called Fujita. And so we are very, very indeed very happy with what we have seen. From that project, which will cost us about 24 billion, we have come and inspected the Changamwe interchange. As you are aware, the Changamwe interchange is part of this project from Mombasa to Kwajomvu, Lot 1, and then Lot 2 from Kwajomvu to Mariakani. The Lot 1, which is Mombasa to Kwajomvu, the only key outstanding works is the interchange, which you have seen is almost complete. In fact, the entire package from Mombasa to Kwajomvu is 95% complete. What is outstanding is actually the bridge which is connecting from the airport coming to this road. And that we have been assured by the contractor that within 1 month, that interchange, the bridge from the airport, will be complete. The project from Mariakani, from Kwajomvu to Mombasa city is about 8.5 billion shillings. And it will really open up the access to Mombasa city. And then we are here, Makupa Bridge, which indeed you can see is a historic project. It is not just a flagship project. This is a historic project where the government of Kenya, with GOK funds, we have put an investment of 4.5 billion shillings to make sure that we achieve a number of objectives. Number one, people used to get stuck here, going to the airport, crossing the causeway, going towards Nairobi. They used to get stuck here for about an hour or more just to cross the causeway. We have seen that we have opened only one side of the bridge and there's no jam. The jam has disappeared. So people's lives, business, fortunes, will be enhanced as a result of the opening of this bridge. This bridge is currently now 85% complete. 85% complete. And we are here to make sure that the remaining 15% is completed within the next one month. We are coming here ahead of the commissioning by His Excellency the President, who plans to commission it before end of July. But you can see the kind of transformation, not just of this area of Changamwe, but also the city of Mombasa, in terms of accessibility. The bridge is 457 meters long, one of the longest we have in the region. And then we have approaches from mainland, about 600 meters, and also the other side of the island, about 400 meters. So you'd say the actual works are covering almost 1.5 kilometers. But the transformation is what will be key. In terms of tourism, Mombasa will actually achieve a different status. Up to now, we are unable to market Mombasa as an international island because of the causeway. Water does not flow around the island of Mombasa. By doing this bridge, water will be flowing around the city of Mombasa. And therefore we can market it from end of next month as one of the internationally recognized islands. This will bring more tourists to the city of Mombasa. It will create more jobs. All the hundreds of thousands of beds in South Coast, in North Coast, they'll be filled up because people will see the benefit and the enjoyment.
Great development changing the face of Mombasa County. Well, that was the Transport CS Macharia, and he was speaking about the development projects that are taking shape in Mombasa ahead of their commissioning by President Uhuru Kenyatta come next month. But moving on, with the August general election drawing closer, the Council of Elders in Saboti constituency, Trans Nzoia County is employing a rational leadership kind of style to ensure coexistence of communities in the region. Our reporter Boniface Barasa with the details.
Addressing the press after a consultative meeting that brought together elders from various communities living in Saboti constituency at Gitwamba Market, the elders applauded the move, saying it will ensure peaceful coexistence among communities residing in the area.
Tunaenda kugawa hii kiti in the other years coming. Tunaenda kugawa hii kiti kuje kama imekuja juu huku iende chini. Na tutakawa hata mpaka the other years tukawa hata kabila zingine zenye ziko hapa kwa maana is a cosmopolitan place. Tutagawa hata the other tribes zenye ziko hapa. Tukienda tukipeana hii kiti tukipeana years by years to make sure kwamba all the tribes have enjoyed this leadership of MCA.
Kwa Saboti vile tumeanza saa hii uongozi ulikuwa upande wa mlima, sasa saa hii uongozi tunataka ije upande wa chini. Ili kiongozi wa chini naye au akipanda juu huku mlimani na kuhudumia watu wa huko.
The council further said it will be their mandate to follow up with the elected leaders to ensure they deliver on their promise manifesto.
Wale viongozi ambao tuliwachakua hapa awali, tuliwachakua na tukawawacha wakaenda kujitawala. Lakini kwa wakati huu tunataka hawa wachakuliwe na sisi wazee tutawaita kuketisha chini wafanye mipango na kutimiza ahadi zile ambazo wameahidia.
The council called on political players and Kenyans at large to remain peaceful during this electioneering period for stability of the country.
Kura isije ikatulete tuwe na uadui kati ya mbari nyingine na nyingine. Kura ni sisi kuamua kupitia kura ili tupate candidate ambaye atatuhudumia sisi wote katika kaunti hii ya Trans Nzoia. Tupike kura hii kwa amani. Uhasama hatutaki.
The elders later endorsed leaders of their choice for August polls, saying they have done due diligence to arrive at that decision.
Munaona saa hizi mkiona Mheshimiwa Ruto anaenda huko anaunganisha wengine anawachia moja. Unaona Raila pia anajaribu kuongelesha watu awachie moja. Hata hapa Saboti tumekubaliana tutaungana pamoja kwa kauli moja ya wasee, kwa sababu mahali wasee iko amani inapatikana. Na tunaambia ward hii yote vijana kwa wamama wa Saboti uamuzi ya wasee ambaye tumeamua leo kwa kauli moja kwa Bwana Leonard Moss tutampatia kiti, tutampatia kura zetu sote sisi katika ward hii.
Boniface Barasa, TV47, Gitwamba Market in Saboti constituency, Trans Nzoia County.
Well, thank you, Boniface Barasa, for that report. Now, the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services is calling on Kenyans to turn up in large numbers for blood donation and organ transplant ahead of the Damu Kenya Conference scheduled to begin on the 28th to 30th of this month. KNBTS also seeks to launch organ transplant policy during the conference to push for the amendment of the Organ Transplant Act of 2017.
So you know the importance of blood. And this is a time we really want to talk about sufficiency of blood in our country. The other thing which is coming up is about a transplant service, which is still within our mandate in the Ministry of Health. When you talk about transplant services, it is issues of transplantation. We know very well that we have been going to India, South Africa, but we want to ensure that the transplant services are here within the country. We have been doing the transplant like the kidney transplant, the cornea transplant, but we are introducing the bone marrow transplant and all the transplant services. What is the theme? What is the main objectives of the conference? We have four main objectives, and one of them is we want to initiate dialogue on policy, regulation coherence, and sustainability of safety of transfusion in this country, as it is anchored in the universal health coverage. Without program cannot be a success, and that is what we are talking about. The second thing we are talking about is the public, to promote public participation and spur action towards building the clinical needs and for the product for transplant substances and advanced medical therapies. What do I mean by this? Is that we want to engage the public on issues of blood and transplant services. How many of us can say that if anything happens to me, I'm ready to donate my cornea, I'm ready to donate my kidney, I'm ready to donate my liver? Because as Kenyans, what we know is that we always bury even the things which can be used, which can be helpful to the other people. That is where we want to spur that public participation. And let's talk about this. How can we really donate? When you go to other countries like India, when you talk about like the cornea currently, we are importing it from other countries to be transplanted to our own patients here in the country. When we are burying all our corneas, as the media, as the members of the media, can we start this so that we can go? Number 3 is to create awareness on medical and technological advances, learning and exchange for enhancing practice and excellence. When you talk about this one, is that we want to make people aware. I know we have been having a lot of myths in our country. When I donate blood, I think I'm going to have this. My blood will be used for witchcraft and all the other thing. This is what we want to tell all the people in Kenya. When you donate 1 pint of blood, you have saved more than 3 to 4 lives. Because when you get that 1 pint, it can be, we can always prepare different products which can be used for different ailments. And for example, right now, when you donate a whole pint of blood, you can still have the so-called packed cells. We have the so-called fresh frozen plasma, the plasma, that so-called cryoprecipitate, and also the platelets.
Now, even as Kenyans continue to battle the high cost of living, the government has been urged to look into the high cost of fuel. Our reporter Olo Horace is live from Nyeri County. Horace, good afternoon. You have spoken to stakeholders from the transport sector in Nyeri County. What are their recommendations?
Thank you so much and good afternoon from Nyeri County. It is very cold here, and as we speak right now, Kenyans are continuing to battle what we call the high cost of living. We are looking at a situation where Kenyans are crying all over just to show their concerns about how the life is going, how the Kenyan government is pushing them to the wall, talking about the cost of living and talking about how the recent cost of fuel. Here in Nyeri County, we've seen the cost of transport being hiked everywhere, the cost of traveling. We've seen people struggling to pay, to cope with the changes made with the matatu operators. Because, of course, after the hiked cost of fuel, now matatu operators, bus operators have hiked their fares and all that. With me here, I'm having a section of stakeholders from Nyeri County. Ukisongea tu hapa karibu. How has it been in this sector? You start with your name. Tell us what you're going through and what you expect going forward.
My name is Peter Deuli Dirago. I'm chairman SACCO. I'm also a member of Nyeri Matatu Secretariat. The problem we have here in our sector has never been experienced in the history of Kenya. Now, fuel has been increased, particularly diesel from 90 shillings to 140 shillings, an increase of more than 50%. And we are in dilemma whether to increase fares or not. Because even the fare we have, we do not have passengers. People are not traveling because there is a lot of problems. They don't have money in their pockets and also the food is very expensive. So given the option either to travel or to feed your children, if you get something, then you feed the children. The problem is so many people depend on our sector. There are those people who work in the stage, there are conductors in our vehicle, there are drivers, and their owners. All depend on the vehicle. And also those vehicles have loans, and we are not currently able to pay. One vehicle, even without including price fares, is staying in the stage for 3 days without getting any a passenger to go to Nanyuki, Nyahururu or Nairobi, because the vehicles are so many. The competition we have is also negative because people are trying to do each other with the little money that there is in the country and the other provisions that we have. So what we are now doing is either impounding our vehicles because they are not getting anything, they are being auctioned, or we are just selling them because there are no buyers. But the problem we have is very bad. Now, when you say that an average driver gets 500 shillings and one bale of 2 kg packet of unga is 250, he cannot be able to feed with the family because when you say that unga is 250, a kilo of cooking oil is 330 shillings. So one day cannot buy even a half kilogram or a quarter kilogram of cooking oil, vegetables, and even one packet of unga. So we have a problem in this country. And the solution we should offer is, even if there is a campaign period, we thought that the antagonistic parties should bury their differences, as it happened in 1998, where the former President Moi and the former President Kibaki, then the opposition leader, they buried their packet to address a national problem when we bombed in 1998. So we think that this one should be an emergency, and even the president, the deputy, and even the opposition leader should get it together and get a solution, not this what you call blame game, because people are suffering. And you can see we have come from the COVID. There is drought in this country. People do not have money. So we think that even if they suspend the campaign for at least 1 week and address those problems. And also we urge the government to subsidize the fuel, because fuel depends on anything, transport and everything else. In fact, in America, Joe Biden has already suspended the quote on the fuel. In Kenya, 1 liter is having those taxes equivalent to 62 shillings per liter. And if that one could be suspended for at least 1 month to see exactly whether the situation will improve, it will relieve a bit. And we also have to, I don't know whether we have considered too much on politics and we have forgotten our people, because if there is no, as we are talking, there is no maize. A bag of maize in some places is costing 9,000, and very few people can afford that. And we thought that the people responsible could have foreseen a situation where there is going to be a shortage of food, and they try to get some remedial measures, because people are here suffering. I think the day before yesterday, there is somebody who bought just a kilogram of maize, a packet of maize flour, went home, and this person, the children were so hungry. So the children ate the ugali, and he himself went home hungry.
Okay, and with your experience with the trends, where do you see this going forward?
Now, if things go like that, I don't think we are going to have even stability, because people are stealing, and if you steal because you are hungry, I don't know whether we call you a criminal or not.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much. As you've heard, we expect that the government should do something in order to cushion Kenyans against the rising cost of living in this country. From Nyeri County, my name is Olo Horeza.
Well, thank you very much, Olo Horace, for that comprehensive update. Now, the update by Olo Horace takes us to a short break, but don't go too far. When we come back, we'll be giving you more news as well as some sporting action, so stay tuned.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades.
It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent, I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
Well, do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers, as we know agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming and even how they continue.
Who that catchword refers to is the deputy president. He is the one that slogan refers to, and he knows from bottom to up how he has achieved it. But I'm afraid that the deputy president, when we are trying to implement the agenda of uplifting the lives of the people in the country through a program like the Women Enterprise Fund, like the National Government Affirmative Fund, we want to know from them what they did while they were in government to make sure that these funds get more money from national revenue, or that these funds had a more extended reach. I want to agree that women's rights are human rights. And women's rights require that we treat women with dignity. And the people who need dignity more than anybody else, because many times their rights are being violated, are the widows in their homes, in their communities. We must make sure that a widow is in the same place with the husband. And when the husband dies, the widow should be fully in charge of that family and all the property and the land. I think we can make the law better.
From politics in Siaya to a heinous crime in Machakos County, where a man has been arrested for allegedly hacking his wife with a panga at Mumoni village in Matungulu, Machakos County. Jackson Musyoka is alleged to have committed the offense on Wednesday after his wife Florence Mwikali allegedly refused to sign a family land sale agreement. Mwikali is fighting for her life at the Machakos Level 5 hospital. The suspect, who is remanded at the Tala police station, is alleged to have sold the land and squandered the money. Mwikali said Musyoka violently attacked and injured her after she refused to sign the land sale agreement.
Kwa tunaendelea kukusanya, nikainua kichwa, nikaona mume wangu anaitwa Jackson Musyoka. Nikamuuliza ni nini, akaniambia nakuja kukuua. Nilikuwa nashika panga na mishale.
Na mwenye kumuumiza ni baba yetu. Na tatizo na shida ili nafanya muumize ni shamba. Yeye aliamua kuuza shamba watoke nyumbani waende, of which hata amekula nusu ya hizo pesa. So yeye alikuwa anataka kummaliza ndio at least atoke amuondokee ndio auze hiyo shamba.
Niliposikia nduru nikakimbia, sikuwa najua nduru iko wapi. Kumbe nduru mamangu ndiye amepiga nduru na wanawake wengine wenye waliona kitendo ndio wanapiga nduru. Nilipofika pale shambani nilienda mbio na kimbia. Nilipofika pale shambani nilipata mama yangu chini. Nikamuuliza ni nini, mama hakuwa anaweza kuongea, alikuwa na bleed sana. Hakuwa anaweza kuongea hata kidogo. Nikaangalia, akasema nimekatakatwa. Kumbe mzee ndiye amemkatakata baba yangu. Manake amekuwa na maneno mingi, amekuwa akitusumbua kwa familia.
May justice be served promptly. Now, the Media Council of Kenya today engaged members of the Fourth Estate from Uasin Gishu County, in which they launched an analysis of the media coverage in the next general election. Led by the council CEO, David Omoyo, the council urged journalists to be fair and credible during this pre-election period, as they are crucial stakeholders in the forthcoming general election.
When Raila announces Martha Karua, you see now the numbers go up, the graph goes up to the highest mentions. And then you go then towards the very end, the numbers up, you can see almost every candidate is up, but Raila is above. Then we have Ruto, then we have Jimmy and Jiggy, yes, and then we have others. That is the clearest debate, isn't it? So most of the, like you see, Raila, Ruto and Jimmy Wanjigi, they are the ones who made news, and they stuck around the news for a while. We have story coverages of, those were 23,721 mentions in total, where Raila Odinga was 61%. William Ruto was 38.2%. George Wajakoya 0.5, and David Mwaure 0.02. We are looking after the clearance, isn't it? How the 23,721 mentions across the media in focus was distributed.
Meanwhile, Azimio running mate Martha Karua has taken her campaigns to Nakuru County. Karua is currently at the Greenstead schools. Now let's cross over and listen in.
Thank you very much, and we indeed coming live to you from Nakuru City, or rather Nakuru County. And remember where I'm standing, it's at the Lockwood grounds at Greenstead, where Martha Karua, who is the Azimio running mate, is currently holding meetings here. Remember, as you can see right behind me is a tent where there is a gathering right there, and Martha Karua just arrived some few minutes before. And among the leaders current who are in attendance are Governor Lee Kinyanjui, who is the current governor in Nakuru County. And remember, there are also other leaders who are allied to Azimio la Umoja coalition. And therefore, remember, unfortunately, journalists from the arena have been asked out of the arena. We do not know the reason behind that, but we were right in the arena when we later were told not to get to the arena, and we had to walk out of the arena. And therefore, remember, this is one of the series. Remember, Martha Karua will be walking around, or rather will be going around some parts in Nakuru County where she will be taking the Azimio la Umoja campaigns. Remember, right after here, she will be expected to walk towards the Nakuru town, where she'll be talking to the residents in Nakuru County. And therefore, this also, remember, Nakuru County Governor Lee Kinyanjui, who is present in this particular meeting later or earlier, had also walked around Nakuru, of course, explaining to people that there will be meeting here. And as you can see, the turn up, of course, people have turned out for this particular meeting. And also, if we can say that security here has been beefed up, and everybody is ready to listen to what Martha Karua just brought in Nakuru County. Remember, everybody is just optimistic to just listen to what, or rather to the speech that will be from the Azimio running mate, that is Martha Karua. And therefore, remember, we are here, we are pitching tents. We shall be able to follow up on what will be transpiring in this particular place. Remember, right now, leaders are just going on with their speeches right there. We also have other leaders who are present here. Remember, so many aspirants who are in Nakuru County. And remember, many of the aspirants are allied to the Azimio La Umoja coalition. Therefore, I will be following up the story. We are optimistic that we shall be able to get to the arena, and probably we shall be able to hold interviews with either Martha Karua or rather any other leader who will be willing to talk to the journalists, and I will be able, of course, to follow up this story. We hope that at some time or probably later we shall be allowed into the arena just to get to what will really be happening, or rather to just listen what Martha Karua will be telling the residents here in Nakuru County. And remember, just some few months, or rather 43 days remaining to the general election. Everybody is just optimistic to hear some of the agendas that have been set. Remember, the Azimio La Umoja coalition under Raila Amolo Odinga and also the running mate Martha Karua have promised, of course, Kenyans so many things that they will do. Therefore, allow me keep an eye on this. Allow me follow up on this story, with hoping that we shall be able to interview them, or rather they shall be able to talk to us, and I will be able to keep our viewers posted to what is currently, or rather what will be unfolding in Nakuru County. Therefore, for now, we do not have any space at the arena, we as journalists, but we shall indeed keep following up to see what will be transpiring in this particular grounds, which is the Lockwood ground, and we shall be able to inform our viewers to what exactly will be happening here. Over to you, Dennis. Allow me follow up on this, and I shall be able, of course, to keep you updated. Over to you, Dennis. My name is Chichi Josephine.
Well, thank you very much, Chichi Josephine, for that comprehensive update. That is our Nakuru-based reporter, Chichi Josephine, who's following up with the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Lands running mate, that is Martha Karua, who's currently in Nakuru County at the Grinstead schools. Like she's carefully explained it, the journalists have been locked out of an indoor meeting within the Martha Karua's meeting, and right now Chichi Josephine is definitely following up with the story, and she'll bring us up to speed in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, Busia and Bungoma counties are still facing challenges in the construction of CBC classroom. This is according to Principal Secretary for Early Learning and Basic Education, Dr. Julius Juan. Speaking in Chakol Girls High School in Busia County, Juan noted that almost all counties across the country have completed construction of CBC Phase 1 classes, except for Busia and Bungoma counties. He added that Busia has 6 schools, of which 3 are still at the foundation stage due to termination of contracts occasioned by non-payment of contractors.
Across the country, almost all the counties have completed 100% the CBC Phase 1, and we are ready to start Phase 2, which we discussed about a week ago with our teams. And it happens that there are about 6 classrooms that are not yet, or rather 6 schools that have not completed their classrooms in Busia. So we decided, instead of sitting in the office, as we always do, we always go to the field to check what is happening so that we are certain for ourselves what exactly is happening and find a solution going forward.
Ni mwezi wa 3 na unapata kwamba mtu wewe hajapata payment mpaka saa hii, na hata hakuna pa kufuata. Wengine wakilipwa, unajua hiyo pesa tena inatolewa pale ushuru. Tuna pesa ambayo inakatwa pale kama retention, na ni pesa yenyewe ni kidogo, na tumekuwa na mambo hii ya COVID, mambo ya changamoto ya mafuta hii ambayo imekuja ikaleta shida. So imechangia sana hali ambayo haijakuwa hali mzuri. Kama contractor tulikuwa tunaona tunaumia, lakini tunafurahia kwa sababu ana PSC amekuja mwenyewe akatuhakikishia kwamba ataenda kushughulikia maneno yetu kutoka kwa ofisi ya education.
The Lake Region Economic Bloc, LREB, which comprises of 6 counties, has teamed up with community organizations to strengthen the Smart Start program aimed at emphasizing proper nutrition for children under the age of 5. Led by Smart Start program founders Roslyn Rasanga and her Busia counterpart Judith Onamu, they have emphasized the importance of a child's well-being, especially between the ages of 1 to 5.
And also because of teenage pregnancy, we see most of those children, sometimes they are neglected, maltreated, abandoned. And if we don't take good care of them when they are early, then that's when we start seeing delinquents in the society.
That LREB has about 15 million Kenyans. Now from the 15 million, we have about 7,000 households. So we want to use the forums that we have, starting with the communication advocacy media, to reach out to each and every household within the Lake Region Economic Bloc.
But we want it to be government-led, government-driven, not partner-led, for it to be sustained. Because for a long time, partners have been seen to be on the driver's seat. And then after that project period ends, this just ends like that.
That hii program ambayo tunaanza siku ya leo itakuja kusaidia watu wetu wa Busia, kwa sababu tunataka kuona watoto wetu mama ambaye akona ujauzito, wakati amepata ujauzito mpaka wakati ambao ameenda kujifungua mpaka 1000 days ya mtoto, tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba huyu mtoto tumemlea kwa njia ambayo inafaa aweze kudevelop kimawazo, mwili na afya yake yote ikuwe mzuri.
Government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna now says the only way to make progressive reforms in the country's security sector is by improving the working conditions for police officers as well as building nice houses for them. Speaking after inspecting a 4-story building at Bungoma South Police Station, he further noted that the security sector challenges have been the cause of dismal performance that has continued to deteriorate with criminal activities.
Ya ujenzi wa nyumba za askari wetu, hasa askari wa polisi. Na hii ni juhudi za serikali za kuweza kuboresha, vile nimesema, huduma kwa wananchi. Ina maana kwamba askari wetu wanapoishi kwa sehemu ambao ni salama, sehemu ni nzuri, itawapatia motisha pia kuweza kuboresha huduma zao kwa wananchi. So hii hapa ikiwa ni nyumba ambao ni ya rooms 50 kwa maafisa wetu, ili waweze kuketi kwa mahali ambapo ni safi, mahali ambapo ni nzuri kuliko sehemu ambazo wanavyoishi.